Hello students, welcome back to Data Communication video lecture. So in the present session, we'll discuss about physical topology and network types. The physical topology of LAN refers to the way in which the stations are physically interconnected. The stations may be either nodes or devices. So the term physical topology refers to the way in which a network is laid out physically. Two or more devices connect to a link, two or more links forms a topology. So we can also define the topology is nothing but the manner in which the nodes are geographically arranged. So if you are having some set of nodes, how exactly these nodes are interconnected. So that is called as topology. So or else we can say that the topology is nothing but geometrical arrangement or connection of nodes. Physical topology of local area network should have some set of features. The topology should be flexible in order to accommodate the different types of changes which occurs within the network. The second one is the cost of the physical medium. So we have to concentrate, the first one is we have to concentrate on the changes in physical locations of the stations. So the entire physical topology should be scalable enough in order to increase the number of stations or else in order to increase in the LAN geographic coverage. And the second feature is the cost. Second feature is nothing but the cost. We have to concentrate on the cost of the physical media as well as the installation charges. So the cost of the physical media as well as installation charges should be minimum. And the third feature is the network should not have any single point of complete failure. So the network should not have any single point complete failure. So by considering these factors, so we are having four basic topologies. The first one is mesh topology, second one is star topology, third one is bus topology, fourth one is ring topology. So we will take one by one now along with its advantages and disadvantages. So first we will take mesh topology. In a mesh topology, every device has a dedicated point-to-point connection. In the case of mesh topology, each and every device has a dedicated point-to-point connection to every other device within the network. The term dedicated means that the link carries traffic only between those two devices it connects. So what is the meaning of dedicated link? The term dedicated means whatever the link which carries the traffic between any two devices which can be exclusively used between these two devices. So I can say that node 1 must be connected to n-1 nodes and node 2 must be connected to n- nodes. So therefore finally node n must be connected to n-1 nodes. So I suppose if you are having four nodes, 4 nodes. So single node will be having connections to the other respective nodes. So that means n minus 1 connection will be available. So therefore we need n into n minus 1 physical links. So therefore we need to have within the topology, we need to have n into n minus 1 physical. So here we can observe that we are having 5 stations. We can name the stations like S1, S2, S3, S4 and S5. So here we can observe that station S1 is having 1, 2, 3, 4 connections. So that is n minus 1 connections. Total number of stations are 5, 5 minus 1 connections. So similarly this will be having n minus 1 connections. This will be having n minus 1 connection. Once again n minus 1 connection and n minus 1 connection. So therefore total number of links within the mesh topology will be n into n minus 1. So n is 5 and n minus 1 is 4. So that means 20 dedicated links will be available within the mesh topology. So now we will take what are the advantages and disadvantages of mesh topology. As I mentioned before, in the case of mesh topology, we will be using a dedicated link. Since we use the dedicated link, which guarantees that each connection can carry its own data, so that eliminating the traffic problem that can occur when the links must be shared by multiple devices. So we can avoid link sharing in the case of mesh topology, and there is a 100% guarantee of delivery of data to the intended destination. The second advantage is in the case of mesh topology, which is robust, if one link becomes unusable, it does not affect the entire system. So suppose if you are having 3 devices, I'll take only 3 devices now, station 1, station 2 and station 3. So between each station there will be a dedicated link here to here, and suppose any one link is failed, so at that instant it will not affect the entire system. It will not affect the entire system. So the third advantage is there is the advantage of privacy or security. I can say that between the nodes we can provide security as well as we can maintain the privacy aspect. When every message travels along a dedicated line, only the intended recipient can see the data. Only there is a privacy as well as security can be maintained between the sender and the receiver. So the next advantage is troubleshooting is easy, and the last one is isolation of network failure is also easy. So these are the major advantages of mesh topology. Now we will take disadvantages of mesh topology. In the case of mesh topology, so we are using dedicated link between the devices or nodes, because every device must be connected to every other device. Obviously, while reconnecting the devices as well as while installing the device, while installation it will be more difficult. The second disadvantage is costly because of maintaining redundant links. So the third disadvantage is hardware required to connect each link can be expensive, because so we have to maintain the dedicated link between the devices. So the last disadvantage is difficulty in reconfiguration. So next we'll take star topology. So in the case of star topology, which consists of a number of devices which are connected by point-to-point links to the central hub. So you can observe that there will be a central hub and all the stations are connected, like station 1, station 2, station 3 and station 4 are connected to the central hub. Easy to control and traffic flow will be simple, but the data travels from the sender to the central hub and then to the receiver. Suppose we want to transmit the data from station 1 to station 2. The station 1 need to transmit the data to the hub and central hub will receive the data and once again it will retransmit to station 2. So that means the data travels from the sender to the central hub and then to the receiver. So now we'll take what are the advantages and disadvantages of star topology. So in the case of star topology, which is easy to modify as well as it is easy to add new nodes to the network. So while addition or deletion of any nodes, it will not disturb the rest of the network. So the troubleshooting techniques are easy and failure of any nodes do not bring down the whole star network. Suppose a single point failure occurs, it will not affect the entire star network. So next we'll take disadvantages. So the major disadvantage is if the hub goes down. If the hub goes down, the whole system is dead, which is of no use. Each device requires its own cable segment. Installation can be moderately difficult, especially in the hierarchical network. So these are the major disadvantages of star topology. So next we'll take the bus topology. So in the case of bus topology, we can observe that the multiple devices are connected one by one by means of connectors or drop lines. So connectors or drop lines and there is a central one cable, so which act as a backbone or which is also called as a drop cable. When one computer sends a signal, all the computers on the network, it will receive the information, but only one intended station can respond. But while responding, we have to concentrate on address matching. Here the devices can communicate via this cable. Suppose station 1 wants to communicate with station 3, but it can communicate via this cable, but we have to concentrate on address matching. So other devices, suppose here in between we are having station 2, this device, it will not bother or it will discard the message. I can say that the other or rest devices can discard the information. Bus is passive topology because it requires termination. Cable cannot be left unterminated in the bus network. So it is a passive topology, where termination of bus is mandatory. So next we'll take advantages and disadvantages. The first advantage is easy to use and install. needs lesser number of physical connectivity devices. A repeater can also used to extend a bus topology network. The bus topology, which is of low cost, only the backbone cable stretches through the entire facility. The followed by some set of disadvantages are: heavy network traffic can slow a bus considerably. Obviously, if the traffic is high means it will cause the performance. It is difficult to troubleshoot the bus. Failure of cable affects all the devices on the network. So suppose that single backbone cable itself is failed, it will affect the entire network performance. Difficult to add a new node to the topology. So these are the major disadvantages of bus topology. So next we'll take ring topology. So in the case of ring topology, we can observe that each computer is connected to the next computer with the last one connected to the first. So suppose if this is station 1 which is connected to the next one, and station 2 is connected to the next one, station 3 is connected to the next one, and the last n-1th station is connected to the first one. So the signal travels on the cable in only one direction. So the signal can travel in only one direction. Only one direction, or else I can say that unidirection. Since each computer transmit what it is received. So the station 1 transmit to station 2, station 2 to station 3, and so on. The ring is active network, but the termination is not required. Here, which is not passive one, that means active network. Here, termination is not required. Termination is not required. So next we'll take advantages as well as disadvantages of ring topology. The first we'll take advantages. Cable failures are easily found because every node is given equal access to the token. No one node can monopolize the network. So next we'll take the disadvantages. Obviously, adding or removing the nodes, it may affect the network. It is difficult to troubleshoot a ring network. Failure of one node on the ring can affect the whole network since the nodes are interconnected. Cost of cable is more in the ring network. So now we'll take network types. So basically the network types are, first one is LAN, second one is WAN, and third one is MAN. So first we'll take LAN, that is local area network. So we can see that the LAN enables stations to communicate directly using a common physical medium. So in the case of LAN, there will be a common physical medium. Using this common physical medium, the devices can communicate with each other. So LAN is composed of computer hardware and transmission medium and the software. So basically LAN is composed of hardware components, software components, followed by one physical medium. LAN are privately owned networks within a single building or campus of up to few kilometers in range. So we can have the communication between the systems if the systems or devices are located within few kilometers distance. It is generally used only one type of transmission medium. So depending upon the application as well as cost, so we can have the various topologies using LAN. So the topology may be either star or bus. The topology may be either star topology or bus topology or else ring topology, depending upon the application. So LAN may be either star, bus or ring. The basic idea of a LAN is to provide easy access to the data terminal equipments within the office. So we can observe that here we are having two diagrams. The first one is LAN with a common cable. So we are having one single common cable to which all the devices or hosts are connected. So from host 1 to host 8. So similarly, the second configuration is LAN with a switch. So there is a central switch to which all the devices are connected. So I can say that LAN provides user flexibility, speed, security and security as well. So it also provides hardware and software sharing as well as centralized management and private ownership of LAN. So next we'll take wide area network. So as I mentioned before, in the case of local area network, so we can have the communication between the devices with a shorter distance. But wide area network is also an interconnection of devices which are capable of communicating with each other. There are some differences between LAN as well as WAN, that is wide area network. A LAN is normally limited in size and spanning an office, a building or a campus, but WAN has a wider geographical spanning a town, a state or country or even the world. That means, so I can say that a MAN, while longer than LAN, is limited to city or group or of nearby offices. So it uses similar technologies of LAN, but in the case of WAN, which provides the long distance transmission of data. So I can say that wide area network provides long distance transmission of data. So a network that covers a larger area such as city, as I mentioned before, either it may be a city, state or country. So between the state or between the countries we can communicate by considering wide area network. So the WAN contains host and collection of machines. So in the case of WAN, it contains host as well as collection of machines. So user program is installed on the host. I can say that the user program will be installed on the host and all the machines. All the hosts are connected by each other through the communication subnet. So the information can be exchanged between the host and all the hosts are connected by each other through the communication subnet. So we can have the classifications under WAN are, the first one is point-to-point WAN. The first classification is point-to-point WAN is a network that connects two communicating devices through a transmission medium. So this transmission medium may be either cable or air. So we can consider the communication medium as either cable or air. So in the case of point-to-point WAN, a network which connects two communicating devices with each other. So we are having one network over here. So this is one network, and here we are having one more network. This is one more network, and these networks can be communicated or connected through the communicating devices. So the communicating device will be having its own transmission medium. The transmission medium may be either cable or air. So one more classification we can have, it is switched WAN. In the case of switched WAN, we are having two or more ends. So in the case of switched WAN, we will be having two or more ends. Two or more ends. A switched LAN, as we will see here, is used in the backbone of global communication today. We can see that a switched WAN is a combination of several point-to-point WANs. So we can construct a switched WAN by combining several point-to-point WAN. Point-to-point WAN. So the diagram is shown here. So we'll be having, as I mentioned before, we'll be having in the case of point-to-point, we'll be having two different networks, and those two different networks can communicate with each other using the common physical medium. And in the case of switched WAN, so we can observe that we'll be having more than one point-to-point connections or point-to-point WANs. So centrally there will be a switch. So this is the switch, this will be the switch, so this is also a switch, and one more switch, and the networks are connected to the switch, and the switches are interconnected. So that is how the communication can be done in the case of switched WAN. So next we can observe that we are having the inter-network. So we can say that inter-network is made up of two LANs and one point-to-point WAN. So how we can build inter-network? Inter-network can be constructed by considering LAN as well as point-to-point WAN. Point-to-point WAN. So here we can observe that. So this is first LAN. So this is nothing but the second LAN, and here we will be having one point-to-point WAN. So inter-network is a combination of two LANs as well as one point-to-point WAN.